Welcome to Back to the Bins. I'm your host, Mr. B. This is a channel chronicling somebody's reemergence into the world of collecting comics. I hope that you find whatever I have here interesting. If you do, if you've been here before, thank you so much. And I ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. It'd be great to have you here. It'd be great to get some input. It'd be great to have some friends, some like-minded people within this community of comic collecting. Like I said, it's been about a year and a half that I've gotten back into the hobby. As a teenager, I did it for quite some time, and, life circumstances brought me to a point where I stopped collecting, and now here I am, a year and a half in, primarily collecting new books, but also interested in all kinds of back issues from the 90s, the Silver Age as well, also whatever I can find in the dollar bins, the bargain bins. It's all good, it's all up for grabs, and it's all out there. So let's get started. This is an FOC video, and we start things off with Marvel. We start things off in alphabetical order, and we start things off with the Amazing Spider-Man number 44. This is the main cover, done by John Romita Jr. This is just fantastic. Scott Hanna doing the inks, and it's pretty cool. Actually, I haven't been too impressed with John Romita Jr.'s work, but the longer I look at this particular issue, the more I actually think it's quite nice. It's pretty cool. I love how Spider-Man looks on the mask. That is very typical, the classic Spider-Man. Speaking of classic Spider-Man, I had to get a variant, as per usual. I am a cover collector, and this was absolutely gorgeous. This is issue number 44. This is Tatum Giadu variant, and man, that is just old school, classic, 100% Spider-Man. Look how beautiful that is. That's up for cover of the year, if you ask me. Beautiful. The city looks great. Great color. Spidey looks fantastic. What's not to love? Had to get this. This is Avengers Twilight number 1. This is the second print by Daniel Acuna. This has been a great book. Issue 3, of course, is in this week's FOC. I had to pick up the variant. I'm just loving this book. Old age superheroes doing what's right. It's fantastic. Pretty badass. Love it. Like I said, Avengers Twilight number 3 also came out, part of the FOC. This is a Torrin Clark variant. I'm a big fan of Captain America, so because I saw him front and center, this book seems to really be about him. I had to get this one. Love Miss Marvel. And is that Iron Man? I haven't read this issue yet, so I'm not too sure if that's actually Tony Stark or not. Then I got the classic giant size Fantastic Four number 1. There's a Ron Lim variant. There's a reprint in here, as well as a new story. I was really into the cover. I am reading the current Fantastic Four series, so of course I'm going to read this at some point, but I've got a bit of a backlog of comics to read, as I'm sure many of you do as well. Especially when you get into this hobby, it's like you find everything that you wanted and more. Speaking of which, I hit the dollar bins, and we got this, Sleepwalker number 7. This is from December of 1991. We got Brett Blevins doing the pencils. I don't really care that much about Sleepwalker, but I certainly remember at the time when I was collecting Spider-Man and things like that, that Sleepwalker was a new character, and now that I saw that in the bin, I thought that was a really cool cover. I had to get it. Back to the FOC. This blows me away. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see it properly on camera. Well, not too bad, actually. Yeah, this is What If Venom number 1. Beautiful foil. Paulo Sequeira. This thing is so shiny. I love it. Look at that. I'm a Venom fan in the sense that I love Spider-Man, but I'm not going to be collecting this series. I just couldn't resist this absolutely amazing foil cover. I mean, foil is back in, and because of that, there was another foil I had to get. No reason other than shiny. This is Uncanny X-Men number 268. Originally came out in 1990. Jim Lee on pencils, Mark Silvestri on inks. This, of course, a facsimile, but I thought this was great. Some great characters. Again, loving Captain America. I got a soft spot for Wolverine. And of course, Black Widow, super cool. Had to get it. Switching over to DC, a book I'm collecting and reading and really enjoying, but ending my run of this at issue 12. This is Batman, the Brave and the Bold, number 10. Simon DeMeo. This is just the cover A. I couldn't really find anything. There was no good variants this week for this particular book. So I figured, as long as I had Batman on the cover, that's where I was going with that. Been a good series so far, all kinds of cool characters popping up and different stories. Was never really into DC, so this was a nice way of being introduced to a few characters, as well as getting really deep into Batman lore as well. Have to get Green Arrow because I'm loving this series. This is Green Arrow number 9. This is the A cover done by Sean Izaksky. Hopefully that's how you say it. Fantastic book. I too am leaving this one after 12 issues. Got nothing against it. I know that there's a lot of things changing with it. I don't really care about that either. I just figured 12 issues, a nice solid year of collecting Green Arrow. I can move on to something else. Dig around a little bit. Maybe shift gears. Got Green Arrow number 9. This is the Dustin Nguyen card stock variant. Love this one as well. Just beautiful stuff. Kind of has the Matrix thing, if you look at it that way, but so cool. DC's been doing some fantastic covers. Of course, it's Black History Month, so we got this one as well. Green Arrow number 9. This is Nicholas Draper Ivy. It's one of my favorite books. I just love Green Arrow. As somebody who didn't care too much about DC back in the 90s, it's nice to feel like I'm giving some iconic characters a chance. I don't know if this is going to become iconic, but everybody's talking about this as well, and I have to get on the mofo train. This is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is number 1. This is the 3rd print, done by Patrick Horvath. Yeah, I mean, come on. I had to get it. Everybody's talking about it. I know that the reissues of, or the reprints, I should say, of 2 and 3 are coming out as well. They look really nice. Somebody get that. I'll read as much of the story as possible. Another story that I just actually really enjoyed was this. This is Crash Down number 2. This is a Philip Knott variant. Of course, this is Comic Tom 101's book, and the first issue was really fun. Reminded me of the TV show Lost, just a little bit. Some name references as well as a few ideas. That's why I had to throw on the Dharma t-shirt. Another great book that's just been slow in coming down the pipeline is this, Deep Cuts. This is Deep Cuts number 5. It's a Chris Brunner cover. This is an anthology series about jazz, and I'm a jazz fan, so I love this. This particular one is set in 1968. It's been a really fun series. Like I said, it's been so long to wait for issues. It's unfortunate, but they're just beautifully done. The art is fantastic, so I would recommend it. I'm sure the trade's going to come out. It's going to be just gorgeous. Look for that. And finally, the FOC. We got Duke. This is issue number 3, the Tom Riley cover. I think this is a 5 or 6 issue limited series, so it's winding down. And of course, I haven't read it, but I did see that something controversial, at least controversial for me, happens in this book, and we'll see what happens. But that is everything for this week's FOC. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I did. You can join me next week. I'm going to be doing another FOC video around this time next week, as well as I might throw in a bonus one of stuff that I found in the dollar bins and back issue bins. So why don't you like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, love to have you on board. Join me and let's talk about comics. Let's look at comics. Let's explore comics, because I'm not a pro like a lot of these guys out there. I'm just somebody who's finding their way through comics once again and enjoying it and wanting to share it with you. We'll see you next time. Oh, comics are good.